is another leak came out from Avengers Doomsday with Marvel. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, the leaks coming from Marvel are they wetter than the women at the Pink. And for those that know about P Valley, you know what I'm talking about. They leaking more than them. And it makes you wonder, are these intentional leaks? And there is a common thread with each one of these links. It's just that in this one, they didn't explicitly come out and say it. It looks like Doom is going after everybody's kid. All right, well, there's the ad. Take a listen to my boy John Campia, great Canadian kid. And he found the leak. And for those of you that love X-Men, this is for you.
Say Avengers Doomsday third teaser trailer leaks online and shows comic accurate Cyclops. And down here you see a little bit of a look of that potato version of him. And it's pretty cool. I mean, just the very fact that it features Patrick Stewart and Magneto, all gray, long hair.
And that's how the first X-Men opened.
Long beard. And I'll tell you what, Magneto's words in it.
Bro.
I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he says, death is inevitable. We all die. I'm paraphrasing here. But the question isn't how you die. The question is who you are when you close your eyes. I'm like, oh, I got chills. I got chills hearing Magneto say that. And then it kind of fast forwards then to what a lot of people have been wanting, a comic book accurate looking Scott Summers Cyclops finally getting his justice in the full outfit that everybody wanted to see him in, pulling off the visor and letting loose the big optic blast, and clearly while there's an Armageddon going on around him. And then, of course, like all the other ones, X-Men will return in Avengers Doomsday, screen black, Avengers logo with the clock clicking down.
Damn it, I got to give Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers a soul clap. Every nerd, every geek is somewhere having straight geekgasms. The stuff coming out of their penises is not white, is X-Men colored, okay? Finally, we're going to get a Cyclops that is comic book accurate, and hopefully they'll play on his character in a way that he's a little bit more powerful. Some things to know about Cyclops and his power. Comics, he gets his powers from the sun, and his optic beam actually comes from another universe when he shoots it. And he literally cannot open his eyes without having some sunglasses on that block his beam. If he does, you get this. You get almost Armageddon. Now, if you look at this picture closely, this is almost kind of like for my folks that watch X-Men, the 92, the cartoon, when they do the opening credits, he's on his knees shooting a blast into the sky. This is almost that, but if you look carefully to the right, that is the boot of a sentinel. That is the boot of Sentinel. So apparently a Sentinel was sent here, destroyed the mansion, destroyed it so bad that the relics of the mansion, this is the little banner that Xavier has on the school for the gifted. It's on the ground, almost destroyed. And if you look further in the trailer, they tried to get Professor X's suit a little bit more comic book accurate. Even though it's gray, it is normally green, but this is a whole lot better than what we've got. The only thing they didn't give him was the yellow floating wheelchair. They gave him this one that came from the original movies. I can live with that. I can live with that. And then that phrase from Magneto, and this is Magneto. And folks, make no mistake. Yes, these two actors, they both are in their 70s. They're like 71, 72, something like that, 77, whatever. But they still can play these roles. Now, with Magneto, the older he got, the more stronger he got. And for someone to be powerful enough to come and deal with Magneto and Professor X, because those two, they form this entity in the comic books when their two spirits collide. And you guys saw that in X-Men 92, the cartoon from last year. There's something to be reckoned with. And for something to actually come to that mansion sentinels and destroy the mansion says a whole lot. And most of us already knew that the mansion was going to get destroyed because this leaked out a long time ago. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here's a picture of the set where this is the backyard of the mansion, just totally eviscerated. Big old spot. I'm sure that's supposed to be the foot of a sentinel. I mean, just in total ruins. But my whole thing about the way they've dropped these trailers and these kids. Each trailer kind of had a theme of a kid except for this one. But if you look closely, this one had a theme too. For my real nerdy comic book heads, who is the daughter of Magneto? It would be one Scarlet Witch, all right? And we've already seen from all the other trailers, Steve Rogers has a kid. And this kid is probably the kid that messed up the entire multiverse. About to get his ass kicked by Dr. Doom, okay? You had Thor and his daughter, and Thor talking to the All-Father to give him strength for this last battle. Probably got his kid snatched up too or killed. Magneto's daughter is the Scarlet Witch. And what we know about Dr. Doom, if you take a look at the suit. He's got these sigils. And these sigils represent magic and I do believe science. And what he is doing is combining the two, magic and science. And he probably put a spell on those sentinels to control their asses. Gyrich was sitting somewhere wondering what the hell happened to my machines. Dr. Doom is not playing. And I think he might have kidnapped Scarlet Witch too. Now she's got sorcery powers. He's got some similar powers. He can cast spells. And imagine what he can do if he gets control of her too. Now think of how powerful the MCU had her. He is going to be more powerful than her because not only is he going to do the magic aspect, but he's going to do science better than Tony Stark, ladies and gentlemen. For a minute there, folks, I was saying to myself, we're going to have the whole MCU going to fight Doom. And if you don't dig in the comics to realize at one point in time, Doom had the Infinity Gauntlet. Doom is a tremendous adversary. And there are roles sometimes where Doom can be the the anti-hero, excuse me. But I was a little sad thinking Doom is going to be the big bad. But the more I see these leaks, the more I see just how dangerous this dude is, the more I see how all these different teams are going to get their asses destroyed and handed to them by Doom. I'm in for it. It's just a matter of how does this thing start? That's what it comes down to. How does it start? So you all post your comments, man. We got a whole year before this thing comes out. I can't wait to see it. I do believe Loki is going to be in this thing. He's supposed to be holding the multiverse together right now as we speak. And I do think that Thor is going to come back at some point in time as Rune King Thor and have the All-Father strength, all of it. Loki is going to be God Loki. And that's going to be the only way they're going to take down Dr. Doom. I think that the way they're going to open up with Dr. Doom, just to show you how powerful he is, since the Russo brothers are back to do this, and make no mistake, Infinity War is one of the top 5 best movies in history. It won't get the accolades it deserves because it's a comic book movie, but it is one of the best comic book movies in history. Make no mistake about that. I believe they will open up this film within 30 minutes, Dr. Doom will be whipping the ass of Thanos and ripping his head off his body and holding his spine. That happened in the comics. And one thing we know about the Russos, they are comic nerds. They do things that appease us as comic nerds, but also tell a different story with a little augmentation to it. I can't wait, man.